fancy intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome back, everybody, to another YouTube video covering what is now Apex Thursdays, which is good, I think, right? We're going to go over today what has changed, what's updated, and honestly, even some of the feedback that we've already provided that I know you're going to say in the comment section down below. So kind of like preemptively, Rev getting in front of it saying, I know some of the problems that you're going to have, but that is okay because we are going to already have put those in front of the dev team and explain some of this process. So let's go over some of the basics of what is changing with the new Mud getting the crew back together. So basically, for those who are unaware, between arcs, we had an event called Apex that we would run once a month. And that was something that we did pretty very consistently, I would say. I mean, it's one of those that it was predictable. We knew it was coming. And what they've done is updated it to where now it's going to be a once a week run every Thursday. Now, you're also going to be able to participate in a leaderboard and 2 different SMS events. Now, these SMS events are important because they both pay out a currency that we're going to need to pay attention to, the Eclipse Heist token, which you already have, by the way. You've already been getting these, but you were getting 100 every month. Now you're getting 200 a week. So both of the SMS events here will give you those tokens as well as rep. So it's kind of the same event. It's Apex Rogue and then Apex Hunter. They're basically the same event, slightly different. Scoring is just slightly different, but completing these will allow you to progress in the event and do certain things and, you know, get you those currencies and even some of the rep if you're like Rev and still haven't maxed it out after all this time. Yes, Rev is a complete noob. But I do want to say that one thing has changed. Even though there's a new currency we're about to talk about, there's a currency that previously was here that is getting rid of. That is the Zeta token. So if you have Zeta tokens, use them now in the event store. You want to go ahead and spend those. Don't save them. Don't sit on them. Get rid of them if you can in the event store. That currency is leaving. So one thing actually, and this might seem like a simple or even stupid thing to kind of appreciate, but I actually like that they added a new currency that you're about to see, but removed an old currency. So it's kind of like a net medium, whatever you want to call that. We don't actually get more. So I like that. So that new currency can be found directly in the SLB. Now, before anybody says anything, yes, we're going to talk about the brackets or provide feedback on the brackets. They're very wide, all this other stuff. That is all true. But the top scorer is going to get, you know, the most contraband chips, that new currency we're talking about, as well as research credits. And then it will grow down the list, which you see right here, 21 through 50 on my particular bracket. So that's good, right? I mean, the score, you get officers, spin directives, do things with the Stella, and it's a grinded out type of a leaderboard that will last one day every week and give you those tokens. Now, after you've gone through these events, where does that take us? Well, that takes us to the event store and the brand new, or really updated, Apex Outlaw event store, which for those curious, yes, it says 22 hours, as in it would run one day, and those who won the leaderboards would not be able to complete it. I've already talked to them, and they said that it's going to persist, that this is something, don't worry about it. You will be able to still use the rewards and won't have to wait until the upcoming week. Now, some of the things that have been added here that we're going to talk about are the skins. We've got the assimilated Stella skin, the Opus Grande. For those who don't have it already, you will still have the ability to go after the Opus Grande skin if you didn't have it. And pretty cheap price too. The salvage skins, hijack ships, we just want to skip those. And remember, Zeta tokens are now gone, so spend those. But you'll see that you've got Explorer parts in here, or in terms of spending your Rogue event trophies, which are still a currency that persists. If you remember from the SMS events, that's going to pay out, as well as the Eclipse Heist tokens. You can spend those on our normal, what we would normally recommend is research medals. We always want to spend those on research medals. But once you've gotten past that point, you can now use this to source ship parts, which is going to be probably what I see most people doing, is going after these 4-star ship parts here. And excuse the graphics not working because, of course, Scopely. Now, let's go over to the 2 main things that I think is going to be the biggest positive for a lot of players. Is one, you do have the ability to go after faction independent credits for those heist tokens, and that's going to have value for some people. But obviously, getting more badges is a big deal. We've talked about the need for more officer badges in the game. Y'all have talked about we need better sourcing for the badges. Well, now you can actually do this every week and get more badges. And you see the roll rate right here is you're going to get one, and it'll be random which one you get. But you can get up to 2 a week now for free, in addition to what you would get through, say, the Discovery rollout, which we already have as a weekly run through Anomalous Phenomenon on Sundays. So even though this Thursday new event is optional, you don't have to participate in it. Maybe you don't have any particular value that you find. There's now definitely something to give value to Apex, what really had felt like it started to lose. Now, this is going to be the big one where you have the opportunity to slow drip the contraband chips. So you have the SLB that pays them out in big chunks, and then you have this that does a slow drip. Now, I will say real quickly, personally, and I've already provided this feedback, I don't feel like it's going to provide enough. The good thing is you're guaranteed to get officer shards and contraband chips with 3 rolls per run of here, which means a minimum of 1,500 contraband chips a run, with the potential to technically get 9,000, but that seems extremely unlikely at a 1% chance per roll. So I'm going to click mine right now, and I get 1,500. So I actually got my 3. I got the 3 minimum rolls each time I ran it. Only ended up with 1,500. So what does that mean? Now, one thing I've provided as feedback is this: the cost to go after some of these skins is just too stinking high. Because you see the assimilated Stella skin, which will be a big one that people want. Well, it costs 180,000. I can actually put it back in the screen so you can see here at the bottom. It costs 180,000 to unlock. That is 120 weeks for you math nerds if you got 1,500 a week like I just pulled. Mathematically, that's ridiculous. That's, you know, what, 2.25 years to unlock that skin through Apex Thursday. So I do think there's some adjustments that need to be made here. That would still take me winning the leaderboard 5 times, 5 weeks of winning my SLB just to unlock this skin. I think that's a little bit too slow of a drip. However, even though I think this needs to be adjusted, there are still some good things. New currency aside, so let's hide this. The Opus Grande is actually not very hard to get, and I'm probably going to go after that first because I still don't have it. But the Stella skin's nice because of those that remember, the Stella skin allows you to start going after 5-star materials through your Stella scrapping mechanic in the Outlaw faction. We'll cover that maybe a little bit later. But this still is a net positive for giving you officer shards, working towards this, and then also more badges, as well as you have these options here if you want to go after using these credits for uncommons. Personally, because we're focusing on 4-star, if you're a 4-star player, you really want to focus on the ship parts. If you are a 3-star player, more chances to get uncommon every week. I don't think many people are going to bat an eye about, but remember, the most valuable thing is still the research medals here. This is where the true value lies in the game. So when you go through this new event series, like I said, multiple paths and multiple pull options, and hey, if I can get more random badges, I'll take it. Hey, if I can get more contraband, I'll take that. Technically, I guess you could end up with 3,000 a week if you decided to get no badges, no faction credits, and you just went for this, and not counting SLBs. That knocks it down to, you know, instead of 120, now we're down to 60, but that's still over a year. That's a long time because realistically, most players are probably going to try to catch up with their badges, as well as more faction credits is always better. You know, we talk about how much things cost. You know, a Tribune, if anybody's trying to work towards that as a level 50 epic ship, that's 1 million action credits. So anything that you can do to improve that, well, you're going to try to do. This one, you even argue the payout's low. Maybe people skip this, except for independent credits. You still kind of need those everywhere. So generally, though, I feel like this is a net positive. And another big piece of feedback, let me back out and show y'all, because I know y'all are going to ask, and I want to go ahead and tell you, yes, myself, the official moderators, many of us have already in the Discord talked to in our dev chat. They need to take this system, Lindstrom, right here, and copy and paste it to these unused systems up here, the hostiles and the armadas. We're really pushing for that. And the good news is, listen, they are already discussing adding more systems here per y'all's request. Now, I realize that y'all been asking that for a long time, but I've already had them tell me face to face, 2 different people, that yes, they're talking about adding more systems because of the lag. Because now this is a weekly event, there's going to be more people obviously trying to do this and do it consistently. Whereas Apex before, once a month, maybe for a lot of players, had gotten, forgotten. It just wasn't something you did as much anymore. Now it is. So That piece of feedback has been provided, as well as the general cost of some of these skins. Now, again, I still think this is a great net positive. It's going to result in more faction credits, more officer badges, more skins, better sourcing for officers. Generally speaking, if you want to participate in this game and you have great overlap with a lot of other events, because if you're just using your Stella to do hostiles, sure, it's more, but it's optional and it can definitely improve what you were already doing weekly anyway. Now, once again, just to remind you, a lot of options get added when you add skins into the game. So if you want to go after those skins, sourcing for things like using your Stella particles instead of going for research, once you've done the research, you're then using your Stella particles to then go after the cool stuff like, 5-star materials if you had that assimilated Stella skin. Let me get my research credits here before I forget about them, because I need them. Anyway, that's the gist of it, everybody, and I want to know what you think down in the comment section below. And now that we're wrapping up, I do want to give a quick shout out to how you can support the channel. If you choose to, it is optional, but check out our merch store. It is revdeuce.com. Yeah, I actually have my own domain. It's only $12 a year to get your own domain, by the way. So if you were curious how much that costs, very expensive. Anyway, check out our merch here. The link is in the description. And also at the very bottom, we have a membership where if you want to support monthly, you can do that, with the $25 lieutenant one having a perk of example of watching a movie. We have a movie night that we're going to do at least once a month, where I've been told that because I haven't watched Fifth Element and I haven't watched Demolition Man and I haven't watched several of these movies, I'm not a real nerd. So we'll do that together as a family. Appreciate all of those who support. Y'all are all amazing. Let me know what you think of the new Apex and what you think can be improved down in the comment section below. Live long and prosper. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. We're outie.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.